everyone. Chances are you're joining me after watching my review of the Granville train disaster. I will be talking now about a mini-series that was produced about this disaster. To understand some more context, I do recommend you check out the previous video. In 1998, Channel 10 produced this, The Day of the Roses, a two-part account detailing, quite faithfully, the lives of those who survived, some of the victims, and the rescuers and the investigators who were involved in this disaster. The Granville train disaster on the 18th of January 1977 remains Australia's worst railway disaster. And despite some initial hostility towards this production, it went ahead, it aired, and it ultimately became a huge domestic hit and even won 4 Australian Film Industry Awards. As a production, it is outstanding. The technical merits are fantastic. Everything from the dedication of the actors to the sympathetic direction to the recreation of the disaster itself. It was all done respectfully and with considerable attention to detail. Incidentally, all the images that you will see highlighted throughout this are all screenshots from the series, and the copyright naturally belongs to the miniseries itself. But just how did they go about recreating the 18th of January 1977? Well, luckily for them, while the accident locomotive was scrapped, there were at least 3 other engines that had been preserved. One of them, the 4638, was still in running condition, and so it was spruced up, it was renamed the 4620, and it was used for filming. Although, as you'll see in the screenshot, the paint scheme was historically inaccurate. The 4638 was painted in an earlier livery with the Tuscan red outline, whereas in 1977 they had the Indian yellow whiskers. Small difference, but the engine itself was identical. The disaster itself was filmed from memory in a large storm drain. 2 full-size mock-ups were built, and a recreation of the bridge was then dropped onto those 2 carriages. For the scenes where the film's last journey was recreated, old carriages from the same vintage had been found and were used. And you'll also see in the screenshots that while the train itself was authentic to 1977, this was just before computer-generated imagery was easily accessible and convincing for TV production budgets. So a lot of the settings around them, particularly the cars, are very, very 1997. Anyway, in addition to this, everything else about it, the dress, the hairdos, was all 1977, and it led to the miniseries feeling extremely authentic. The cast give it their all and produce some heart-rending scenes, which you can see in the screenshots above. I will not be playing any scenes of this in this review, only these handful of stills. However, aspects of this are available on YouTube, and you're welcome to search it. This particular DVD set has actually been out of print for quite a while. It would be fantastic if this were to be upscaled and restored, and also if there were some additional features added to it, such as a making-of documentary, commentary from the actors, their thoughts about representing actual people, and thoughts from the Granville Disaster Historical Society, who assisted with the research. Anyone who watches this will not cannot fail to be touched by the sheer drama of this event. It is powerful viewing and strongly recommended.